strive to do here every Thursday from 2 to 3. We strive to bring power, dignity, and class. Class, I say, is missing King all the time. King, thanks for hosting with me today again. King, always a pleasure to have Al Wisdom knock his together. You know what I mean? Hey, thank you. Again, I say class, King. It's like school on Christmas. No class. We see it every day. Yeah. Even in our politicians. The ones who's supposed to exude class. Who's supposed to be ready to face the challenges and just straight conversations. Just be able to be witty enough to handle these folks that they keep running from.
Well, you know, they're the most classless people out here.
So that's why I started with them first, Queen.
They always think that it's about the money. They think money makes them classy or something like that. And, you know, that's what they've sold to these youngins out here.
Yes.
And that's why we're raising a culture of demons.
Yeah.
And I'm not calling them demons. That's what they
That's
call
what
themselves.
That's what some of the games they're playing right now. And King, I say, you know, I talked to a young man today, and he said, man, you know, you should have the show should be, you know, the word of the day. I said, well, what's your word? You know what I mean? Give me the word. You know, call in, brother, and we can talk about what you want to talk about. He said he gonna call in, so we'll see what his word is. And he said, what I said the show would be about word on the street. Is that what it is? He said, what's the word of the day? And I said recovery.
Recovery.
That's what I said, recovery. I said about that last week. I said we're gonna talk about recovery, and recovery in all aspects. Where I'm going at with this, you know, I want to talk about a lot of folks that used to use drugs first. Let's say a lot of folks that used to use drugs, you know. And you watch them now, you've seen all of the situations they went through and things like that, King. You've seen them at their lowest stages when they was using drugs. And now you see them now, their heads up high. You know, I want a lot of those folks to call in because I have a lot of buddies, male and females, man, that you know, and been through that horrible situation of using drugs, and it's gone uncontrollable, King. But I said recovery, though. And it's a pleasure to see some of those folks that I knew wow, to see them how they were. And I was like that at one time, not tore down, but I was broke down. You know what I mean? But wow, it's just a great thing to see the actual recovery, and not just physical recovery, mental recovery. They start being citizens of the world, wanting to care about. So a lot of people you think that shouldn't care about crime and justice because they did crime and justice back then. Well, they are the ones who really care about crime and justice right now. Those are the ones who focus on it. They've been through so much bad things, they want some good things in their lives now. I say, King, I have a lot of young men, man, that are right now, man, they got businesses, man, and you know, you talking about launching this business thing off, man, and you know, and wow, man. You know, recovery, man. We can't just keep talking about falling down, and they passing out another new Narcan now. They're trying to charge you for it now. They're trying to charge you. First it was free now. Now they flip the script now. Oh, this one here better Narcan. You should pay for it. Yeah. Go ahead, Ken.
Because they started that shooting gallery mess over there in San Francisco, where the people had like a gallery they could go use their drugs.
Yeah, madness. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, and then as a part of Joe Biden's Recovery Act, remember he gave that care package out of, you know, to people. He gave them needles and syringes and crack pipes and meth.
Crack pipes.
Yeah, meth.
Crack pipes. Crack pipes.
And that's a real story.
Yeah,
gave it to him and
a care package.
It was a care package.
So you don't have to go out and do it. You buy it, they know where to get it from. Go ahead, King.
So, you know, this is only natural. First, you know, it was, hey, we're going to give it to Eugene, so if you see somebody pass out, you go ahead and give it to them. Now, well, Gene, you want to help somebody so much, pay me for it.
Pay me for it, yeah. You such a God-sent person. Yeah, because you know every time, like I said, I told you, us with every time we save somebody, you know, God said, you know, you gotta, you know, okay. God said, okay. Go ahead, King. I tell you, man, go ahead, King.
So now that this was the plan all along, you know. they get, and I say they, I'm speaking of the government, you know, the government put this stuff out here for you to get even more addicted. People who would have never even thought of dealing with or touching or getting involved with drugs because they was giving out these care packages, decided to experiment.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the next thing was the legalization of marijuana and, you know, getting it out here into the population to have young entrepreneurs selling marijuana or setting up this thing. And, you know, we talked about this and how, you know, it can be a trap because it's not, even though they've legalized it, it's still a federal
It's still
offense.
a federal offense.
And at any point in time, you can set up your shop, and you're gonna be in violation. You're gonna have more than what you're supposed to have.
You remember, I was talking to Alan, and Alan had said something the other day. He said, man, he said, it's almost like, he said that what's that stuff that Chinese, the dope stuff that's in the dope. What's the fentanyl? The fentanyl. He said it's almost like they say a pinch of it can kill you, but yet you want me to go down and physically touch the person because I ain't got no gloves with me. You want me to physically go down and touch these people? You say a pinch could kill me too. See the madness that's involved in this.
Of course, it's the
You know,
propaganda.
it's the propaganda. Yes, the propaganda. Yes, that's a powerful word. Propaganda, King. Powerful word. Yes.
It's the propaganda. I mean, again, if you get enough people out here who are ignorant, who don't understand language, you're easily deceived because as long as you are taking information from people who have PhDs and MDs and all these other accolades behind their name, you look at them as an authoritative figure who knows what they're doing, but in all actuality, they don't. And I say that because we just listened to a press conference that Brandon Scott, the mayor of Baltimore, gave last week. And
I thought you talking
over
about
the
that.
weekend, they was like, oh yeah, you telling these last 76% shooting down here and 57% down here. Over the weekend, how many people? It was 12 people shot in 12 hours. That's a person an hour. Ty, this not Chicago.
I know.
We not a big city.
I know.
And we've lost people. Our population is down. But our murders are still hovering right where they were when we had a thriving population.
You remember I had a show called Seeing is Believing? You remember I had a show called Seeing is Believing?
Yeah.
Again, they telling us what we seeing and what we are seeing. Everything's okay.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna say this because
That's what I mean.
because
Wow.
just to prove my point, last year the buzzword was what? Holistic. This year the new buzzword is ecosystem.
Yeah.
How many times you're gonna hear the word ecosystem over the next few weeks? Because you're already hearing it. Brandon Scott must have said it 1,000 times in his thing. And everybody ever since then, all he keeps saying is ecosystem. See, this is a problem that I have. We have an educational system as it exists today. The mayor, Jill Carter, and other lawmakers, whatever they say they're doing, as Ty just said, is the complete opposite. So when they're telling you that, oh, I'm for black people, that means that they're against them. When they're telling you that we're really trying to make our educational system better, that really means that they want the status quo, they want it worse. Anything that these politicians are telling you that are here in Baltimore, that are in Annapolis, whatever they're telling you in your face is the complete opposite that they're trying to
Let
do.
me tell you something, King. I'm like Nostradamus. Remember how he used to, Nostradamus and them, they used to prophesize the future.
Yeah.
Well, we prophesized the squeegee situation and the violence. We prophesized that, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
All right? Well, I'm prophesizing like something right now. This summer downtown, in order to stop that type of behavior, it's going to create, when the police really go down there and try to stop this, it's not going to end up right. It's going to end up into almost like a riot type situation.
You're right.
I'm telling you right now because right now our regular police really ain't getting no respect
At all.
at all. When they really try to get and gain some respect and say and start towing cars and stuff, they're gonna fight back now because y'all done let it go too far now, and it's overwhelming now. They already seen that they'll beat police up too. I mean, we would do it too, but not at this level.
No.
Not at this level. We got to fight the police too back in the day, but not at this level.
No.
Not a constant challenge every day. You know, but I'm just being prophesizing this, King. I'm trying to tell y'all, expect this to happen this summer, where we see tear gas and all that going on
Well, again,
in the middle of either Light Street, somewhere in that area where they do all that stuff. And I'm just saying,
okay, Ty, I'll
the
put you
water's boiling.
because you just heard Sister
Water's boiling.
You just heard Sister Juanita talking about they need to bring, the military and government.
Oh, she did?
Yeah.
I didn't hear that part.
When I'm listening to it, I'm hearing martial law.
Yes.
And here's the thing. They've been trying to bring martial law in since Freddie Gray. But what happened was, everybody toned it down before they had a chance to enact it. This is the test city, Baltimore. I've been saying it for years. If y'all think that I'm playing, that this is a test city, just count how many hospitals are in a 2-mile radius of one another.
King, can you believe that the governor, tried to act like he was really tied to Baltimore? He touted out something about Freddie Gray the last week on what's the name?
Yeah.
As though he was a hero or something.
What?
Ed Morse came on right behind that.
And blasting.
He's a drug addict, a drug dealer, and and then he came right then. He come, what's the name? When he realized what the road they going on. I do understand. Don't get me down. Understand? Go ahead.
Okay. I'm about to tell you. It's the opposite of what they're saying. They're trying to make saints out of devils.
Yes.
And if I'm reading this correctly, well, if they're Satan helpers, then of course they're going to make their helpers, they're going to exalt them and put them at a certain level.
Yeah.
See, that's what I'm seeing going all over the country. I see a whole bunch of black people in charge of the cities that black people live in, and they're telling the black people, well, the ecosystem there, and we're holding we're taking. They're saying all these words, and to the people who are ignorant, it sounds good. It sounds like these people are doing studies, this, that, and the third. Again, I listened to Sister Juanita and Brother John talk about the highway to nowhere and how Kwaisa and Fume is talking about putting trees and parks and, a walkway and all this stuff down there. Again, totally disconnected
From what's going on. The neighborhoods are falling down in West Baltimore. The homes are falling down in Park Heights. And he talking about putting trees. And I get it. I get about modernization. I would love to drive down there and see some trees and it look nice. That'd be cool. But the homes and stuff, the man home fell in a sinkhole and you told him you didn't want to help.
Well,
and you get what I'm saying?
I do, but you see, even deeper than that, the issue that Brother John and Sister Juanita talked about was the eminent domain and how they took so many houses and displaced so many people. And then just for it to end up where it is now, and then they're still talking about displacing even more people because to turn it into a park, you gotta get rid of all them houses around there. In that little area.
Well, King, I'm gonna shout out some folks, man. Couple folks, donations. Brother Rue, you supposed to call then again. I haven't heard from you. Thanks for his donation. Brother Mike on the job. Thank you, Brother Mike. Mr. Bo, thank you. Appreciate that, man. You guys know, man. Again, I say, man, donations are welcome here at the Tyrone Hour. Again, I say I'm a joke about the Thursday thing. I always do that now, King. They say shopping on Black on Tuesdays.
Yeah.
What's the day?
Thursday.
Ah, damn it. Okay. I hope we got that. Hope we quote that one. Yeah, I'm on Thursday. Help out, guys. We really appreciate it. King, I say, man, here at WFBR 1590, the Tyrone Hour, man. You know what we strive to bring, man. We strive to bring awareness, accountability, and shock, man. And shock awareness, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because, you know, these, again, I say, are the most important things. Again, I say, King, you know, you said 12 people got shot. 12 people got shot. One of them got shot a block away from the Safe Street home. As they was giving them another $5 million. They was giving them another $5 million.
That was always a part of the plan.
Why would they do that?
Oh, well, see,
all this stuff is being done.
You keep asking these.
In the Safe Street with it.
And they not funding police.
So to answer the question where the $5 million is going, just so the public is aware, and this is allegedly, okay, you still have to pay the Catholic charities
Everybody getting the cut.
and all those other people who are now overseeing this thing, you know, because of the Monzi, and they knew it was going to be a problem with that money. So now Safe Street got what? 26 million allocated to them over the next 2 years.
Yeah.
It didn't make sense for them to already give them another 5 million. They haven't even gone through the 26 that they got this year. So that money, in my opinion, is a payoff or a payout to the people who are making sure that Safe Streets keeps running. And this is his way of saying that we're not going to change anything, the status quo, and, you know, from here on out, we're giving out an extra, and it's under the banner of Safe Streets, but we know good and well
But
that
let
it's
me
not.
say this, because I said this to you the other day. I said I was shouting out some folks. The Ladies of Liberty. I hope you ladies are listening to me. They all in the West Coast, man. But while I like what you ladies are talking about, while these white women and these women are standing up saying we don't want pornography in our schools. Bottom line, cut and dry, get it out of here. We don't want to even talk about gender in an elementary school. Yes, Ron DeSantos, King, again I say, thank you, Mr. DeSantos, for stopping that bill. And to all the black people that believe that this man is stopping black people from learning black history, you're gone insane again. You're grabbed onto that black racist narrative again.
What is he doing? What are you talking
I told you what he did. He stopped down in Florida. Ron DeSantos stopped this bill, educational bill, for schools.
Okay.
Wrapped up in the bill is not 1 and 2. Not just 1 and 2 infections. It's the LBGQ understanding wrapped up into our bill, into education.
The black bill.
It's wrapped up in the black civil rights. They didn't wrap, every time you say black civil rights, they don't wrap that right up in us then. Yeah, so we represent that too. Alright? Yeah. But he stopped the bill and he said exactly what he stopped it from. But the narrative from the folks is that they went straight to the racism. This white guy is stopping y'all from learning black history. Do that sound right in this days and time? I mean, just be real though. If they were down on the Waco Ranch, you heard what I just said, the Waco Ranch under a tyranny of one person, and he was teaching them only the things they could learn, I can understand that. But these people in Florida, the state of Florida, he's the governor of Florida. That don't even make sense.
Well,
I'm gonna stop black people from learning black history. It don't even make sense. That's that net was go out. That's the snare.
That's the only thing that people heard. They did not hear. I did not hear that other part about that LBT.
Yes, that's woven up in there.
I did not know that.
Yes.
Here's the
Go ahead,
thing.
King.
This is the
That's
problem.
why he said.
That's why he stopped it. Cause that's that. Go ahead, King.
This is the problem that I have. The wool is still over
Yes.
everybody's
Hey,
eyes.
eyes.
Okay, Black Lives Matter was started by three
Yes.
lesbian
Yes.
women.
It was not for black families. Go ahead, King. Go ahead, King.
Whose bylaws, one of them was to help destroy the nuclear family. So they were never they were never intended for a healthy black
Families.
family and relationship.
Yes,
Now,
it wasn't for that.
It was never for that.
It's never for
Now,
that. We've been
this isn't the first
bamboozled.
time that we're hearing that these
Yes.
bills or things
Yes.
have been woven into these bills. When I first came on in June and July, those are one of the things that I was saying is that they are using these bills
Yes.
and they're weaving their LGBTQ agenda inside of
black.
the bills, and then they're
Yes.
selling it to black people.
Yes.
This is for us, and we're not doing this.
And,
it was
the
under-
white man's out the message.
Hold on.
Go ahead,
It was
go ahead,
under the
go ahead.
critical race theory
Yes.
banner that they brought all of this
Yes.
foolishness out. And then when I spoke out on it, because I'm a lightning rod for controversy, people didn't hear me. They heard everything else. And I'm kind of glad that now Ty is saying it because now it's starting to resonate. These things have been going on forever.
Yes.
You think they just write a bill and that's it? Your bills go from 3 to 4 pages to 3 to 4,000 pages.
Yes, they didn't
and
roll
inside
it all
that
in
bill
there.
is a whole bunch of pork,
What?
as they call it, a whole bunch of
Straight
unnecessary
pornography.
you know, a whole bunch of other
Cut and
things,
dry.
bills that you wouldn't even think is
Not
allowable.
calculus.
They're allowing
Not
it
algebra.
because they're putting it inside of inside of these bills, and then this is why it is such an issue.
Mixed
Again,
up agendas.
I'm gonna say it one more time so people hear me. Okay, I understand that there's violence against transgender people. I'm not stupid, but we also have to put in parentheses, or at least let it be known that some of the violence is coming from deception.
Yes.
Because when you deceive a person and then you bring
And
them
that
into the light,
and that area too.
they're
Ooh,
like,
if you was able to deceive somebody in that area, it might not turn out right.
Things happen. But the way that it is phrased now is that you're transphobic. Okay? And I'm like, transphobic, well, phobia means a fear of. I don't have a fear of trans people. But if you speak out, if you do anything, everything is framed.
That's why I'm telling you,
put
Gene.
you in a category
They hit you
to
straight
make
with
you either you for it or you're totally against it. What they don't tell you is that people like me really don't care
Let me
what
ask you
you
a
do.
question, Gene. So did you believe from what you were hearing, like he was really trying to stop black people?
Of course you did.
You really believed it that
Of course
way?
you did. Listen.
Wow.
Listen.
I can't. I can believe it. That's why I asked the question, King. I can believe it. That's why I asked the
Ty,
question.
the reason-
Because that's unreal.
Ty.
In 2023. No.
Listen. Ty,
No,
don't
it's
you?
not.
Ty,
It's, I mean,
Ty, listen.
everybody got smart. Go ahead. Everybody got cell phones. Everybody
Listen,
got history in their
Ty,
lives.
This is why every week
Wow.
I come in and I say the things that I'm saying. Yo, we have people who are highly intelligent who are playing the fool. Yo, you can't see these things that's going on and you don't believe it because they're telling you what you see is not really happening.
Seeing is believing, huh?
And we got people that's actually believing this. This is why I'm like, racism, really? In 2023, you think it's that
In
overt?
Florida?
You think it's really that overt? It's not. This is nothing more than a
Propaganda.
It's a rallying cry.
Propaganda.
It's to build people's emotions. And if you haven't been paying attention to anything that I've been saying the whole time I've been here, the whole world has changed over from logic and understanding to emotions and feelings.
All you gotta
Everybody's
do is
caught
look
up
at it.
in their feelings.
All you gotta
it's
do
how
look at
I
it,
feel
Jim.
about it. And that's what I said about the trans violence isn't always just somebody that's bigoted that's against them. Sometimes it's deception because these people traditionally, these people that was transsexual would stay in their lane, and they would even let you know.
They stayed out.
They would
stayed
let
out
you.
their lane.
They would even let you know what they were part of because they know, hey, this guy over here, he's not with that. But in this modern time, they've been sold this idea that I am really a woman. So when they approach a real man, I'm talking about a man that's straight, that don't play them games, and they say to them, they thinking that they're women because they now have surgeries that make them look like women, and they now divulge to this man that, after they've been with him for 2 years, that they were a man. What do you think is gonna happen?
But look,
because hold on,
yeah.
Ty.
Jeez.
But because they have been inundated with you are a woman. You are a woman. Don't let nobody tell you nothing. Live your own truth. This, that, and
Your
the-
own
all
truth.
this, all
Your
this
own truth,
rhetoric to the point where now they tell y'all anything and y'all believe it. To the point where Ron DeSantos is racist. He's a Spanish
He's
guy.
a Spanish man.
Okay.
He's. I mean, I know they. We think they're white too, but he's a Spanish man. We didn't read what was behind it.
Let me just say
What's
this.
behind it? What's behind it is. What behind it is that all this mess. They are not even talking about 1 and 2. They really throwing that in
Hold on,
front
Ty,
of
let me get
all
this
the
in
curriculum.
before we get this call out here. Okay, let me get this in
Keep it
before
brief,
we
Mo.
get this call.
Huh?
Somebody
We got a caller?
he might have said Charles, I'm not sure.
Caller?
Yeah, how you doing, Sean?
Hey, Charles. How you doing, Charles? What's on your mind, brother?
Well, I gotta tell you, you know, Baltimore City is a fact. It's a place, right?
Yeah, go ahead.
But you know, the city of Baltimore is a corporation.
Okay, keep going.
The word of makes it a corporation.
Okay.
So you gotta understand the play on words in all things that we're dealing with.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we think it's one thing, but it's actually something else.
Mm-hmm.
If you ask Siri, you go and say, Siri, what is the definition of Caucasian? And when you listen to the whole definition, you will be flabbergasted. There's a lot of things that we really don't take for face value, which will smack you in the face if you don't value it.
Brother Charles, thank you, man. Thanks for calling in, man. Thank you, brother. Hey, can you give me the website real fast, brother?
Okay, it's WFBR1590.weebly, WEEBLY.com. You can also find us on YouTube and Rumble at K-Thoughts. That's KAETHOUGHTS. That's one word. You can also find us on these podcasts, our podcast platforms, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Anchor, and Google.
Thank you, brother. I say, man, thank you, brother Charles, for calling in, man. With the thin and there, the thin and there.
Yeah,
Go
let
ahead.
me say this
Go ahead.
because, you know, the one thing that I think that black people keep getting twisted. I keep hearing this rhetoric that black people can't be racist. That black people can't be racist because they were blacks and they were slaves. And I'm like, that is the most nonsensical jargon BS I've ever heard in my life. As a matter of fact,
We'll get you some help, Gene. We'll get you
black
some help.
people are more racist against their own people
What?
than they are against anybody else.
Got that
Okay?
all right.
Black people hate black people more than they hate anybody else on the face of this planet.
What?
Okay? I was like, that is a fact.
Turn you into
And
the
this is
government
why-
quick, fast, and hurry.
This is why black men and black women are not marrying like they're supposed to, or like they used to, I should say. Okay? This is why relationships has broken down. When I talk about, you know, a lack of respect going in both directions for one another. The black women don't like us because they felt that we abandoned them. We don't like them because we don't like their presentation. I mean, it's the whole thing is all messed up.
Well, Ken,
and the one thing that I see that is a common denominator with everything is that everybody fell away from God.
Well,
and when they did that, they lost their values
you fell
and
away from
principles.
God. You fell away from God, King, and they went straight to technology.
Took it out of school.
They took God out of school and went straight to technology. All right.
Yeah.
All right, and then technology took over. Then you start feeding your children at home every day. McDonald's started making nutritional meals. How come nutritional can some fries and a burger be from McDonald's?
Exactly.
All right. Do you want to know why the mentality start changing up? Then you start seeing young men being more girthy at one time to now they look more puny now. They're not eating anymore at home. They're not being nurtured properly. Again, I say that, the nurtured prop, as far as educating your children, as far as when they leave the house. Again, I said when we left the house, we had a thing. Everything you hear might not hear what you like, boy. Still got to make it through. You ain't gonna hear nothing you like today, maybe. You still got to work though. You still have to do what you have to do. Again, I say recovery, King. Recovery, man. Wow. Can we recover from all this madness, or will some of us wiggle the way out to a better life and whatever happened to the rest that falls short?
Well, that's what's going on there. That's what the politicians are
Hey,
saying.
man, and
that's what the educational
so that's why I said it the way I said it. And in reality, man, in life, it could be a family unit. And the family unit could be all strong together. But over time, it's gonna be people in that unit that's gonna fall short. It's gonna be people to try to pick them up and everything, but eventually, guess what happens? You go on without them. And if you don't, you're gonna have a lot of problems trying to help them sometimes. You get what I'm trying to say? Because a lot of us live in homes like that, lived in families like that. We had a brother or a sister who were trying to, we knew they were messed up. You knew they were addicts. You knew they were winos, but you tried to, mama, just the one here. When mama died, mama told me, don't turn on my brother. Soon as mama died, he hollered, did she leave any money? Soon as mama died. Alright? Soon as mama died. So then you say, well, the property is only worth $40,000. It's 5 of us. They want to sell it. How much money out of 5 of y'all you gonna get? You get what I'm trying to say?
You ain't gonna get the full 9.
You ain't 5 of y'all. It's only 40,000. You ain't gonna get the full 9 because the half you gotta get it cut to the seller, right?
Gotta get it cut to the seller. The lawyer gotta get his.
The history of the home is gone.
The history of the home is gone.
The worth of the home is gone.
Yeah.
No one sacrificed and labor to keep that home going for the next generation. I don't care if you moved on or what. Somebody's supposed to keep the foundation
Supposed
going.
to keep the house as a starting point.
King, what I say my place is the Ponderosa.
The Ponderosa.
That's what I call my home, the Ponderosa. It ain't going nowhere. I'm going one day when I get some money, I'm gonna put the log ranch fence up there. I'm gonna put the ranch fence up there, King. Y'all, we ain't never going nowhere.
Never going nowhere.
Why? It's always a stepping stone for my family.
It's a stepping stone.
You heard what I said? We got big-headed. We let all them homes go. When we talk about Park Heights, we talk about how the what's the name went down and everything. No, we had it at one time.
Well, it wasn't good enough anymore.
It wasn't good enough no more, so it wasn't taken care of. It got downtrodden and run down.
And this is exactly what has happened.
Can I ask you a question, though, King?
Go ahead.
Why did they say wherever we go? And I keep asking this question, y'all. I keep asking this question. Why did the man know? And why did he have those statements that wherever you people go, y'all gonna tear it up?
Because
you remember that statement?
You know why? Because there's empirical evidence that happens.
God damn, King, God, you right.
You see what I'm saying? You don't draw. I mean, listen.
You don't make that conclusion.
You just don't make that conclusion
evidence,
without seeing some type of evidence of that.
Wow.
And I'm just being real. See, the hard truth is that we don't want to look at ourselves the way that we supposed to. I said something to a young...
Remember that finger you said that time?
Yeah, I'm about to get to it
okay,
now.
okay.
Yeah. I just said something to a young lady, a day or two ago. You know, I said to her, because she said that I was a liar. And I said, I'm going to have to treat you like an adult. And she was like, no, I'm a kid. I said, no, you don't get to float in between. I said, see, you use that finger, you pointed it at me. I said, but what you neglect to realize is that 3 of them are pointing back at you. Yeah. Now, I'm good in fractions. Yeah. Now, 3 out of 4 is 75%, because 4 out of 4 is 100. Now, if 3 fingers are pointing back at you, every time you point 1 finger at me, that means 75% of the time you are the problem.
You the problem. You problem.
You're the problem.
That's the old saying though, Gene. Ain't something we made up, man.
I ain't make it up.
That's the old saying now.
That's right.
Gene.
Every time
early
you
bird
point
gets the
1
worm.
finger, you got 3 fingers pointing back at you.
Yeah.
For every 1 finger you point, you got 3 pointing back at you. And keep in mind, you got a thumb. So I'm correct when I said 4 fingers.
King, I say, man, you know, man.
Yeah.
Good education,
G won't get me so bad. I can see it in her face. She's like, I'm gonna get him. I'm gonna get him, but it making sense. I can't stand him.
Let me give you, Gene, it's time. Y'all know what time it is. It's time for the public service.
PSA?
It's time for the public service.
Okay.
And the reason I'm saying it again, it was raining.
I keep telling you, it's like when it's raining at?
And guess what? See, it was the kids. The kids were just joy. And I'm gonna tell you what I seen. I'm gonna tell you what I seen. And you remember we used to call people has-beens?
Yes.
See, we scared to call a person a has-been. Or a person that ain't doing what they should be or what they used to call you. They would call you a has-been.
Yes.
What's wrong with it?
What's wrong with
So
it?
I remember seeing this young man on Ricestown and Park Heights, the split going up. Good kid. But it was some old dudes kept coming out with this thing of waters talking about we gonna make some money. And I'm saying, how you gonna make some money? It's 5 of y'all. You only got 35 waters in there. And it's
It's 5 of y'all.
4 of y'all grown men that drink liquor. And this little boy probably likes some weed. But the husbands had him with this philosophy that they were making some money. Because he seen the money being traded. You get me?
I do.
He seen the money being traded. And that's what's going on in the city right now. A lot of these children, because some of the squeegees are grown men. They should be arrested.
I said that
You know
last
what I'm
year.
saying?
These grown men out there.
Majority of the squeegee people out there right now are grown men.
Yes.
Are grown men.
Yes.
And I ain't looking for no place or nowhere for him to have something to do. You heard me? With this old, well, do he got something? I don't care if he got something to do. You can't do this.
Listen, Tad.
I'm just being real, because I thought about that. But anyway, King, let me get into my public service real fast.
Please.
To all patrons coming into Maryland from the top of Oakland to the bottom, what's it? That's not that's
St. Mary.
St. Mary. No, St. Mary's up top, King.
St. Mary's at the bottom.
St. Mary's at the bottom.
Dorchester.
Oh, Dorchester, yeah, to the bottom, because I know people used to go down Dorchester.
Mm-hmm.
Oakland to Dorchester, because y'all told me it was all over Maryland. We are giving out Wild Squeegee public service announcement to all people who come up against the Wild Squeegee guys. Do not give him any money. Do not give him any eye contact. If it gets ugly, proceed to the light with caution and call the police. But I have one more public service now. If you put the window down and give them your phone or any type of communication, and something goes wrong, take it on the chin for doing something stupid. Go home and tell your mate, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, or your wife, why did I wear the window down to total strangers? They looked like, and they weren't smiling neither. They had the Pooh Shiesty masks on, as King say, and I rolled the window down and gave him my phone.
He said
That's our weekly public service, Wild Squeegee Alert public service announcement. Hey, King, I'm just saying, man, we said, man, because I said it was children in the back seat when some of those horrible situations was happening.
Listen.
And again, I said about that prophesied, King. We prophesied that it happened with the violence when the man got shot, and the kid got out. The one with the boy with his mother, he got out of jail the other day.
Yeah.
And I said I'm prophesizing the thing about what's gonna happen. Go ahead, King.
Let me tell you what I noticed.
Yeah.
I noticed that.
You gotta call it, King. Keep going. Go, King.
Yeah. I noticed that young men nowadays could be one of two things. They can either be gay or violent. They can't be God-fearing. They can't be law-abiding citizens. They can't be intelligent in class or in school.
Yeah.
They can't be respectful.
Yeah.
You know.
But they can be those two. They can
be either gay or violent.
They can champion either one of them.
Those are their options. You
damn.
gay or violent, because that's what's respected. If you gay, you get all the love. If you violent, you get all the love. I'm telling you.
Okay.
It's part of the culture.
Okay, we gotta call Ma.
Hey, Newt. Hey, Kingsley.
Hey, Ma, how you doing, man?
What's going on, Ma? Something on your mind, or you want to talk about something we talked about?
No, I just wanted to say about the children. I just feel that we keep throwing blank.
Uh-oh. Call back, Ma. I think you got cut off. Just call back when you get a chance. She said she want to talk about the children, and it sound like she said something about some bling before she got hung up.
She was saying something about I guess.
You know, and so I was the other day, King. Yesterday, excuse me, cutting you off. The news was again talking about the places for them to go, and we talked about that, King, before. And you said this is drill culture.
Yeah, the drill coach.
They don't go to recreation and pools.
Not at all.
You can leave the pool open for 24 hours, Mr. Scott, and ain't gonna be no kids in there. They're gonna wait till you shut it down, then they're gonna jump the fence.
Yep,
Right.
that's what they do.
Yep, you hit it right on the head. That's exactly
So
what they
once you stop stunting, I'm gonna be honest, y'all. I'm gonna be honest, man. We need a mayor directly from Baltimore, heart of the city. Someone that's really able to challenge what's going on. I'm not saying, as a black man who's been a part of the underworld, Ma, is that you again? As a part of the underworld.
I got cut off.
Yeah, okay. Hey, Ma, go ahead, Ma.
But what I was saying is that, you know, we all, if you send your child to an area, say like a camp or school, and you have an adult that's there in a supervisory position for your children, yes, I expect my child to be safe in that environment. But what I'm saying is that parents need to stop trying to hold someone else accountable for what they're not doing.
I get you.
Yeah.
Because that's what's going on.
This is my last statement, and I'm going to go. Women better be careful, because every time I turn on TV or the internet, the men are going over to the men.
Hey, Ma, hold on for a minute. Ma, you still on the line?
Yes.
Thanks for saying that. That's
I didn't know this, and I don't understand why all women of all color in America are not outraged.
Can I say?
2 years in a row, King, men won Women of the Year. Was it twice?
Well, they got 2 years in a row, but you had Caitlyn Jenner winning, and you just had this guy, Leah Thompson, just win Woman of the Year.
I can't believe that the women are not outraged.
Okay.
I'm outraged, too. Every time I see it, I get outraged, because I'm like, oh my God, what is going on here? And they are embracing it. Every television talk show, everywhere you go, people are embracing this behavior. And I'm like, oh my God, y'all women out here talking about I'm independent, I'm this and that. You may stay independent.
Hey, Ma, go hold on. King got something to say to you. Go ahead, King.
Now, it's funny that you say that, Ma, because the terminology that I use is they're erasing women from the books of history. Okay?
Yeah.
And it's been an all-out war launched against women. And I'm going to say this, and I hope they don't get offended, but there are a lot of women out here that are too stupid to realize that there's a war being waged against them. And even though they fought to get from under the tyranny of a man, well, guess who they up under now? The tyranny of the trans woman, who's a man. So every woman who is out here supporting this mess, every woman is out here supporting this mess. I want you to understand, do not complain years from now when you are removed from the history books.
They trying to make sure one of them have a baby now. You heard me, G?
Already, they're telling you
they trying to make sure they have a baby now.
They
That's the next
removed your
move.
name, and you're now birthing people.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm outraged, and every time I see it, I just get so upset, because it's like, hi, what's your name? My name is Johnny. Well, are you in a relationship? Yes, I'm in a relationship with Charles. You know?
I get it, man.
And here's the thing. They're buying into this, Ma, because they're being told that it's okay. On the news. Just like they're being told that this person is racist. And they're being told that this person is a martyr, even though they were nothing more than a drug addict and a delinquent their whole life. I mean, this is the foolishness that we're being sold. We are really being sold the devil's ideas. And being that we are the
Dumping
ground,
grounds.
the dumping grounds for bad ideas.
Yeah.
I'm like, they are unloading it all on us, and we are carrying the mantle
Yeah,
for all of this.
for all of it.
You
So
turn
they
on
turned
the
it into
TV,
black rights, black
you turn on
civil
the
rights.
TV, you look at all the commercials, it's 90% black and brown people that's pushing all these gay pills and
Yep.
trying to
Look
make
at
it
all of
sell.
what
You know,
spreading AIDS
you
right
look
now.
at the drag queens, it's
What?
mostly black men that
What?
are, and again,
Spreading
they're all
AIDS and
displacing.
HIV right now, the high time level. What's
Yeah.
the other one y'all just said? It's from everything. What's the other disease y'all just said? I was talking about somebody lupus or whatever. He was talking about wipe this down or something. She was saying that somebody got tuberculosis. See,
TB.
from I don't want to go into the juice conversation. I ain't got that long for that again, though. All right, but from the mixing of the juices, I said it could be a nuclear explosion. Didn't I, man?
Yes, you did.
From the mixing of the wrong juices, semen on semen and estrogen on estrogen. Mama, let you go. I got another caller.
Okay.
Hey.
Enjoy your weekend.
Thank you, man.
That's right.
So do you understand why all these diseases popping up now?
Yeah.
All right, because the Victoria said you can freely do this. Give me another caller. Jay, got another caller? Caller?
Yes, peace to you, brothers.
Hey, brother, who's this?
This is Ali, man.
Hey, Ali, how you doing, man? Talk to me, brother.
Best day of my life. You know, let's do this, man.
Go ahead.
It was the great President Obama who pushed this agenda.
Ah, yes, the King. Hey, you right there, King.
Everybody wants to say that, though.
Oh, you right there, King's 11 right now. Go ahead.
I'm saying it again. It was the great President Barack Hussein Obama who brought this agenda to the people, man, and started these bathrooms. But the bigger picture, beloved, is this. Is pedophilia. And what I'm trying to make you do is to make an excuse for pedophilia.
Yes.
People to say, when they go to court, and the judge asks them, well, what made you mess with this little child? The adult's going to say, because I identify as a child. See, that's what the bigger picture is.
Ah, good call.
He's right
We
on.
listen at, man, because it's that homosexual thing been out here, man, but it's the pedophilia, just like bestiality.
Well, I called it mental rape. That's how far I called with it. I called it mental rape. That's what it is to me.
Well, no, sir,
If
you're
they messing with the
100%
children.
correct. Because when I said this about Barack, everybody, again, attacked me because, it's the savior. He's the black man. He's this. But when I said that he's half black and he's half white, I was like, and he's the truest definition of an African American you could ever get because his mother is from Kansas and his father's from Kenya, and I can't think of two places that love black people more than them two areas, Africa and Kansas, America. And
Watch this.
Go ahead.
The biggest problem, beloved, is this. The masses have no taste.
there you go.
It's the masses. It's the black churches.
Ah.
Because ain't none of them speaking up for them, and we know that what's happening in those churches.
Yeah.
Because they get the funding from the state and government now.
And let me tell you something. Isn't it interesting that Barack Obama, man, was chosen, these presidents were chosen when they're young.
Yeah.
Now all of a sudden he wants to go to Kenya. You heard about that? You know why? Because you see, they about to come after these folks and out them, man. Just like you're going to find out that Michelle is a transvestite.
You were hard on that one.
I'm going
Now,
there,
sir.
because you know what?
Yeah, go ahead.
You know what? What sickens me about our people is this, bro.
Yeah?
We are willing to accept a man named Jesus that never existed. We hold on to
Right.
Jesus and scream him out.
Yes, indeed.
Ain't never met him in our life. Don't even know who King James is. But hate our brother and sister that we see each day. But you want to believe that. Listen, show me a picture of Michelle when she was pregnant.
Listen, brother,
Matter of fact, I put it out there. I put some money up. Show me a picture when she was young
listen,
Yeah.
I'm with
and
you.
pregnant. And everybody that got children got some picture with their husband or their boyfriend hugged up, rubbing the belly or something.
Hey, brother, I'm going to let you go. I ain't got about 8 minutes left. Thanks for calling in, man.
Don't ever let me go, brother. Hold on to me.
I expect to hear from you next week, brother. Definitely, man. Thanks for calling in, man. Have a good day, Ed.
Thank you.
Thank you, King. Hey, man, what you got to say about that real fast, King?
Well, what I got to say is he's asking why they in Kenya, but I told y'all last week that they in
Spreading the
Uganda.
mess.
Yeah,
They trying to spread it.
Trying to,
Why y'all doing this? Why y'all won't let us be gay over here?
They trying to get sanctions over there, even though they clearly told them, listen, it is not acceptable.
It's not acceptable.
At the end of the day, it is the church that is allowing all of this. They are walking hand in hand with the government and these other officials that are pushing this agenda. So if you are part of the church and your church is speaking out against this, and I can tell you now, ain't but one church I've ever heard speak out against it, is Pastor Geno Jennings, the Truth of God.
I ain't heard nobody in Baltimore City.
He the only one.
From
And I've been saying that for
from
years.
Christian to Catholic,
I'm always be
nobody
a
said.
Pastor Geno Jennings trumpeter. I'm going to put it out there. If you really want to learn, that's the person to learn from.
Let me tell you something,
Wait a
King.
minute.
Yeah.
I tell you this, not let you run over.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, we ain't running this.
Go ahead.
So listen, so long-legged Mac Daddy Obama did do it with the LB, all those letters behind it, right?
Yeah.
So this is what I said. So I said, well, why did he do that? They said because they came to him with an agenda where black people didn't. So I said, well, he black. Why did he just give us something? So people say because we had to take something to him, like the LBGP, whoever.
Yeah.
They took him an agenda and a plan, but we didn't.
Okay, so can I ask that? Because now, when they say that, Ice Cube and them took a plan to Trump. Trump was the only one that listened. He took that same plan to Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, and they had no interest in it.
So why didn't you take it to Obama?
Obama had no interest in it. He had no interest in it.
Gays.
He had no interest in it.
Don't you get
no
it?
interest
By him aligning himself with the gays, and okay, off topic, but it ties in. Look at Beyonce and Jay-Z. Who supports them? The gays. Even Jay-Z came out and was like, my mom is gay, and he started supporting the LGBTQ. The Beehive is nothing but the LGBTQ. That's why Beyonce is who she is. And all these people, Obama, like the caller just said, all these people are into this pedophilia mess. It is a thing that they are a part of. And when people don't believe it, they get thrown into this thing called a conspiracy theorist. And now they try to look at us like we're all Alex Jones. But here's the thing. Alex Jones had a lot more truth than he had fiction. When they don't like you, they make you look like
you said that, King, right now we dealing with is the overflow of all these black elite children who are messed up. You heard what I just said? Black elite children, the Wayne Ways. We have we have an overflow with them. Their children in politics, their parents in politics.
Let me say it so that y'all get correct.
Overflow.
Okay, what I said is that the children of these elites, of these politicians, these educators, these athletes, their kids are the ones that has come out and that is pro-transgender.
All this stuff. Everything. Pro-everything.
Pro-everything.
And I'm glad.
They're the ones who are now being
we put the right words on them. We put the right words on it.
They are now the people who are running these Coca-Cola conglomerates and these craft conglomerates
and creating a mess at Bud Light.
Conglomerates.
Creating a mess.
And they're going into politics, and they're into the schools, especially
and they got money.
Especially the HBCU universities in America. All the black colleges has been inundated with all of this stuff. And the church, the schools, everybody is being paid by the government to go along with this agenda. And this is why there's no solutions, because when you give the common sense solutions, it's shot down, and they want to give you an ecosystem or a holistic approach to think about.
I think we could make $1 million church right here out of the three of us. Right now, we can start a church right now, the Church of the Nuclear Family. I believe could take off like crazy. Church of the Nuclear Family.
Yeah, that's it. We the Church of the Nuclear Family.
Church
Please
of the
start
Nuclear
calling
Family.
next week.
The
Tell
Church
us your
of,
ideas
I'm going to
on how
bet
to
you
expand
the
our
Church
agenda.
of the Nuclear Family. I bet you could take off, because we're not alienating nobody. But when you come to our God, our God will change you.
You got to come correct.
You heard me? Because that's what we were taught all our lives. They said when you went to church, you change when you go to church.
You're supposed to.
So even if you are homosexual, gay, or anything, it's a virus in your head. Come to the church of the nuclear family. And we're going to show you all the love and guidance and help you shine your way back to the light again here at the church of the nuclear family.
And one more thing, just to prove that, you know, they're trying to lead us all astray.
Yes.
The state of Maryland Educational Department had moved to hide the test scores because 23 schools came up with zero students proficient in math.
And we ain't outraged.
Now, when you have the state of Maryland removing data so that you can see what they're doing, now you have to ask yourself, who is the people that are in power? Because I can tell you with great confidence that if this was a Republican, if this was Dan Cox, if this was Donald Trump, if this was Kingsley Ellis, everybody be in an uproar.
I'm running for mayor, King. I'm running for mayor, King.
They said it was a federal. It was a federal thing that they did that. That's what they said.
Well, that's what you're trying to clean it up. Trying to clean it up.
Let me get that.
Yeah, federal mandate.
Let me crush that federal mandate.
We got that long.
We ain't got that long because.
Go ahead. Okay, go ahead, King.
So Delaware, Pennsylvania, West Virginia, and Virginia all surround us, and every last one of them post all of their test scores.
Besides
somehow or another, that federal mandate didn't make it to the other federal states.
It just happened.
The day? Oh, guess what, dude? Breaking news, y'all. Breaking news.
I can't take G.
Breaking news, y'all. Guess who passed away?
Crushed it.
Jerry Springer.
Jerry Springer?
Jerry. Harry Belafonte passed away too, but it just heard it. Jerry Springer passed away today. Yup. Jerry Springer passed away. Harry Belafonte, what a great man, King. I'm glad you brought his name up.
That's the only one that I knew of passed away. I'm sorry.
But I just heard because I was on the way here and I heard it on the radio when I heard about the Jerry Springer thing.
Well, of course he did. Steve Harvey is a judge now.
Yeah. Steve Harvey's a judge now. Judge Harvey.
You talking about Illuminati trick?
Yeah.
He's a judge now. Yeah, Judge Steve Harvey.
Judge Steve Harvey. But I tell you,
he took over. What you call him show?
King, I think we had a great show, man. Mommy called. Brother Charles called in with a battle of words again. I believe it was.
No.
I think he was talking about really. I didn't get what he was saying.
I think he was on point. We have been led astray, and we are willfully going. It's like the Pied Piper, and we're just going along with the music, even though we see what's going on. We see the destruction on the wayside. So what Charles is saying, even though he expresses it, in a manner that, is not that digestible to everybody, I get exactly what he's saying and why he's saying it. What he is saying is needed right now.
Brother John said something right before he went off.
What?
He said something that was real serious, but I don't know if people took it that way. He said, the black man's best job is selling drugs to himself. Brother John, I caught that one. I'm glad you start really looking at it, and I get the fact that you say we want to help our sisters and brothers. I get that, King. Yeah. But Brother John, I'm glad you're starting to see some of this stuff. Some of the help ain't working with some of these folks. They're just taking your money, going out doing worldly madness with it. They don't want to work. Come on, you know people who want to work. You know people. The show was called what? Recovery.
Hold on
you know when a person trying to really recover.
I want to shout out my peoples in D.C. I want to say hi to Vita Butler because I'm certain that she's listening. Yeah. How you doing there, sis?
How you doing, sis?
Tell Ern I said what's up.
Yeah, I tell you though, but that was a good thing what Brother John said when he said that our best job is selling drugs to each other.
Yeah.
Wow, that was a good one there, Brother John. That was real prolific, Brother John. And, man, what a respected man. Like I said, you know how much I respect Brother John, man. And, the opportunity that was presented to me, man. But I say, man, we have to start hitting the nail with the hammer, man. We have to start hitting the nail with the hammer, King. We using a wrench trying to knock a nail in.
Yeah, I'm with you.
You get what I'm saying? It's not gonna work all the time. It's gonna you gonna hit your knuckles or something. You know what I'm saying? We're not using again. You brought out the tool chest.
Yes.
We got all the tools.
Yes, it's
But
how
we
you
ain't
use them.
using them. We keep going in there and using the same drug tool.
Yeah.
You hear what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Drug tool.
And next week I'll expound upon that drill culture even
Give
more.
me the valves
because
with the clear stops.
Yeah, because our politicians are telling us now they don't know what's going on. So please allow me to tell you about the drill culture again.
There's no jobs.
Maybe you'll listen and you'll hear me.
Yeah, there's no jobs in the black community. There's no education in the black community. Stop it. Stop it.
Stop believing the nonsense.
Stop believing the nonsense. Stop automatically. Stop automatically attacking your knowledge that I know we are intelligent people. And when people throw the race ticket in your face, you jump straight without investigating the knowledge of what's being said. Yeah. Right now, we are under false education
False education.
We're under false education. They are teaching straightly to black communities first because they get the blacks to it. And again, you know, we groupies. I said we groupies. I said before. Michael Jackson,
Well, see, here's the thing, Ty. As a people, we're the most influential.
And more influential.
So if we latch on to it, then other cultures will latch on. You think I'm playing? Look at hip hop.
Look at hip hop. It's
at
all
hip-hop.
over the world.
So
Herbs is selling hip hop chicken. Herbs.
Herbs got hip hop rap.
Got hip hop chicken. Got hip hop chicken. Herbs got hip hop chicken.
I heard it.
Greens and
he
chicken.
was rapping.
And cornbread.
And macaroni and cheese.
Macaroni and cheese. Herbs.
Yeah. So
no black stores.
Yeah. See, so you know we gotta get with the
I
program.
want to talk about this too. Remember I said about the $1 billion business that's starting up.
What is it?
The marijuana business.
Yeah.
The real marijuana business. Blacks been crying for so damn long to be a part, and if we had to worry about the law, I would be making millions. Well, the opportunity is there now.
Yeah, but here's the problem, Ty. You got to go get a business license.
You got to go play the game. You can't just go get the. You can't get the 25 long bags. You know the 25 longs where I can stuff a 20 in there. You can't go get that and open up a shop that way.
115.
The 115, 16, the 175, 175. You can't do that. I mean, they opened up the drug game that they said we wanted to play. We said we wanted to play the weekend.
No, we didn't want to play it.
And they opened it up.
They don't want to play it. Well,
And
see,
we
also got to play
still doing the same thing.
We still got to play. Well, you see, you got to be business savvy. And even though they're business savvy, the problem is that we like to skirt the rules. So the rules don't apply to us. So I'm not going to get a business license.
I want wiggle rules.
I'm not going to pay my taxes. I'm not even going to go down there and sign up for a tax ID. Why should I?
King, I said, man.
A lot of people start getting, more people getting murdered when all this stuff, you know.
Well, no, see, because what they notice is.
The side weed man.
No, because what happened is that they're trying to put him out of business.
Yes, so he gonna kill somebody.
Well, he ain't gonna never go out of business.
He's not. Yeah.
There's always somebody want to walk. Gene, it's a habit to be able to walk down there and get your drugs. Yeah. It's like habit form. Because you know you want two. But guess what you did when you went down there? You got one. So you can go back. See, that's the reality. I'm only speaking truth from the streets.
Yeah, you know.
The reality at its highest level, man.
Yeah. So with this whole drug marijuana industry, all the politicians, they're in it. They have big stocks. You know, and investments in it. They're pushing it. This is why I said that a while back, for you guys who went out and got your marijuana cards, now you're excluded from ever owning a gun because they enacted laws when they did that. That was another one of those things that was woven in to the fabric of their bill. See, the deception is there, and when you're not paying attention because you're so caught up in your emotions, because you're so mad about being racist that you don't see these things now that they're telling you to construct these businesses, they taxed at a higher bracket. Mm-hmm. The Maryland state tax is 6, but if you get a marijuana business, the Maryland state tax is 10. See, again, it's about money. You're getting taxed at a higher rate because in their mind, well, there's a whole bunch of people here. See, this is why I say the evilness of Brandon Scott, the mayor, who's who's quote unquote black. He's using or want to use the addiction of the city against them to make them rich, to stack their coffers and make them look like they're doing so much more to the to his higher ups, the people who he's pandering to, because he's looking for another position, a political position after this.
Well, what about this though, King?
Inside the Democratic National Party. If you think I'm lying, look at not Sheila Dixon. It was Stephanie Rollins Blake, the one who came in with a husband and left with a wife.
You gotta think about this. Think about this though. Think about this. Yeah, that's right. But think about this. It's the truth though.
I'm so tired.
But think about this. You think about this. You unleash marijuana. We've been craving for it to be legalized.
Right.
But you know you're dealing with a group of people who need a code of conduct with the unleashing of legalizing marijuana. What I said, code of conduct was not given out when they released this. So it should have been a code of conduct. Come on, man. We ain't gonna mess with you. You can smoke your marijuana all you want to, but don't just be walking down the street openly, rolling your weed, and having no class with yourself.
Don't be in the Ravens Stadium lighting up the whole bleacher section.
You get what I'm saying? So when they didn't put common code to it, now, Gene, everywhere you go, even at my job in the bathroom, there's blunt guts.
Yeah.
What?
In the blunt guts and the stuff.
Okay.
Even at my job in the bathroom. So when I see it, I say, you know what? The first thing will happen when the people come and say they want to search all these lockers, the first thing that person gonna say is somebody snitched on me.
Because they didn't realize that they told
you
on
got
themselves.
the blunt guts
right here
in the bathroom where you work at.
Where you work at? What do you think is gonna happen?
What you think gonna happen? They're gonna search all lockers probably and find out if something in there. And Lord and behold, if you got something in there, you gonna be able.
Well, no, he racist now.
Yes, no, somebody told me. Somebody told me.
But they racist too.
It's a racist campus.
It's a racist campus.
It's a white campus.
There's black people up
I
there.
get you. Again, I say though.
Smoke weed.
Again, think about that though, because when I say the code of conduct, man, because everybody's walking down the street like this, Gene. Everybody. I mean, on the bus, coming off the bus, going into the job, coming off the job. You know, once again, I go back to class. You know, you really didn't want to know, you know, that nobody, you know, I really don't want certain people to know that I smoked weed. That's not your business.
Well, listen, hold
That's
on.
your business.
Ty, you talk about class. And we talk about people who walk around and show their whole hind parts to the streets.
You
Now
talking
I'm
about
going to
more
call it
men.
like it is.
More
Show
men.
their ass to the streets.
More men now.
More men.
It ain't the women.
It ain't the women.
Y'all started it, G.
Oh my
You
God.
remember the tattoos? You remember the tattoos y'all was getting
No,
on the
let me
back
tell
right
you
here? And y'all started wearing the
So
jeans?
that we started y'all.
Let me tell you why Gene and them
No,
started.
well,
Because y'all was wearing the Parasuco jeans.
Yeah.
They was real tight.
Yeah. And most dudes now, they walking down, they showing you
With
their
their
drawers.
Parasuco jeans
They
on.
got their drawers out and
Sick of
everything,
it.
yeah. And most guys don't realize it ain't the woman looking at you. You hear what I just said?
It ain't the woman looking
It
at
ain't
you.
the woman looking at your nice old nice little drawers you got on. Yeah, it ain't the woman.
Yeah.
I tell you, King. I say, Gene, thank you.
Can I just say one thing?
Go ahead.
Sure.
Okay, so you're going to, this is sad, you're going to hear this on the news, but a friend of mine, we live coming from the 3000 block of Moser Street.
Yeah.
So today, they don't have his name down, but today somebody stabbed my friend named Wayne Barksdale.
Oh, man.
No.
In the 3000 block of Moser Street. Now, Wayne did, do his thing, but Wayne was one of the most expert handyman and could fix anything in the
Yeah.
world. He could
Wayne
pull your
Boxdale
house
sounds
apart
familiar.
and help you move, get all that stuff together. He was one of the best handymen in helping people move. And,
Today, somebody did it.
Killed. They've been calling me all day saying Wayne is dead. So then they say Luke on Murder Inc. And Murder Inc. don't have his name, but it said 3000 block of Moser Street
Oh, yeah.
died on a scene.
Damn
So you're going to hear his name is, he's not just no number.
Yeah,
His
yeah.
name is Wayne Barksdale.
That sound familiar. That name
Barksdale.
sound familiar to me. That's why I said that name sound very familiar. Wayne Boxdale.
Somebody killed him.
Wow, God
Anyway,
damn it.
thank you.
I tell you, Gene.
Sorry
Last
for your
week,
loss.
you know, I told you my son's buddy got killed
Yeah.
last week. And
a couple of
good
weeks
kid,
before that,
man.
it was my
Good
cousin
kid.
got shot in the
I
head.
mean,
and
he
killed. I
don't.
had to go
This
to
kid didn't
funeral
do.
in D.C. Yeah.
This kid didn't sell drugs. He didn't do nothing. You could barely get him to talk. Really, he was 29. You could barely get him.
Good
He
kid.
smiled all the time, and
Good kid.
again, that's what I wanted to talk about. I'm glad I brought this up, Gene. And he got into a relationship, had a baby, and according to what we get, that he might have gotten into a situation with the baby mother's brother, and maybe that could have what happened. Came back. Well, they say when he dropped the girl off, she got out of the car, and the car pulled up and shot him up, killed him and stuff. Gene, you know what I'm saying? This is a good kid. I call him my son-in-law. You know what I mean? Cause that's how I looked at him. Like, he was a good kid. And a good kid. And I'm saying, I'm gonna talk about youngsters and relationship. That's what I wanted to talk about. Now, if I went away from that, don't be in a hurry. Don't be in a hurry. It's a lot of games being played right now in relationships. You say you love me, you love me, you love me, but it's a lot of things. Used to think called puppy love one time.
Yeah.
It was a thing called puppy love. And I just so sad for this young man, man. Man, I really am sad for this kid, man. I took time off, man. Like I said, it's like a son to me, man. And don't rush to have these relationships. You didn't see your mother and father didn't make it in a relationship.
Yeah.
You get me?
Yeah.
Watch what you're doing. In all steps in this relationship stuff, man. You can lose your life trying to build a life. King, and man, I just said, man, we say, what do we do, man, for our folks, man? Some people gonna fall God gonna take some people home early. But right now, what we got is people going home too fast.
Yeah.
God ain't even getting a chance to take them home. This is a flash of light.
Well,
You know what I mean?
I just liken to the days of Noah. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
And we ain't quite there yet, but we not too far.
Yeah, man.
That's
I tell you,
real talk.
man. We set back, man. King.
It's a bunch, but again, everything comes back to the emotions. You know what I'm saying? It's a whole bunch of immature, emotionally immature people out here. And I'm not talking about the youngest. I'm talking about grown folks too.
The mayor actually said that. Now, I said he say sometimes he try to act like he want to say it, but he's wrapped up in the financial aspect of things. So, and somebody on the job said something about why he don't say this. I said, because if he says this, or if you want to be a part of what he doing, you got to be talking what they're talking.
Yes, you do.
And if you're not talking what they're talking, brother, you're not going to get certain places.
Well, again, that's that 501c3.
It's just reality at its highest level, King.
But I've been saying that it's that 501c3 clique. If you not a part of that clique, you're not getting nothing here in Baltimore. How long have I been saying that?
Yeah.
So what about it? What about this? So what I don't see, the people who gets a part of it, who, because sometimes you have to sneak your way in.
Mm-hmm.
So you sneak your way into that system and get funded, and then over time you change your agenda because now you might not need them anymore. See, that's what I'm talking about when we talk about self-employment or self-survival. At a certain point, the athletes, if you look at the athletes in football, in basketball, it's like they still dependent upon the league after you seeing 60 million, 100 million.
Well, they are.
You see 500 million.
But they are, Ty,
It's like they still dependent upon the system.
Because, Ty, the whole system has been taking care of them since they were kids. You got to think that if you could just use LeBron as an example, it's just a child prodigy.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Even though he might have been single mother, you think LeBron and them really struggled? Really?
Mm-hmm.
From the time he was 19 years old, he's 6 foot, everybody else 5'1", 4'2". He's a child prodigy. They already handpicked him. By the time he was 18, he already had a $90 million Nike endorsement check under his belt. He wasn't even in it. He wasn't even in the league at that point. So you're talking about people who have been taken care of. They've been singled out. They are now part of the elite,
Yeah.
and they've been coddled. So when you say that they're dependent upon the league, they've been telling you what to do since you were knee high.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
now that you're a grown man, of course, 6 years later when you off on your own, you done wasted all your money. You done blew it on this spot.
You gotta
done
go
blew
back
it
to the
on
league,
this
huh?
bimbo over here, and now you trying to figure out
Hey.
why you Delonte West, running around in D.C. underneath the underneath the bridge talking about you got 5 cents. You a millionaire. Get out
Sound
of
like
here.
it's our time, King. We had a great show today, King.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Gene, and
Yeah,
everything.
thank you,
And
Gene, for the
man, I
extended
tell you,
time.
thank you because I have got the chance to really talk about that relationship stuff and the children, man, rushing to have be in a girlfriend boyfriend relationship.
Slow down.
Slow
Take
down.
your time, young
Take
man.
your time, young man, young woman. Live life.
Mama used to say.
Experience the world. There was a thing used to be called back in the joint called Green Peace, where you could go off and what was the joint where you could go off and venture the world with them and help and volunteer and stuff? It's in Explore
Peace
the
Corps.
World. Peace Corps. Remember Peace Corps? Oh man, the world is beautiful, y'all. Thank you, Gene. Thank you guys. We had a great show. See you guys next week, man. Thank you.